Welcome to yet another episode of Unfiltered Immigration. Today's topic is skill immigration solutions, why this administration can deliver. So, if you don't know, United States had election on Tuesday, and the results is that the administration is changing, and wanted to do an episode that how this administration can help us deliver the solution to the green card backlog issue, right? So, and if you don't know me, my name is Anuj, and on this channel, I try to spread the awareness on discrimination faced by high skilled workers based on their country of birth, and by spreading the awareness, trying to bring the change or solution we need for the issue is so unfair, right? So, and I have also started a organization recently called Fair America, which is working on bringing this solution as fast as we can, and we need your support. So if you want to support that organization, the link is in the description as well for you to subscribe to our social media, or if you would like to donate, we are looking for supporters who can contribute as little as like $10 a month, so we can get a professional help, right? That we want to hire staff who are dedicated full time on bringing this solution. So if you want to support it, that link is in the description. To get started, I wanted to uh, focus this episode on why this administration can deliver, right? And wanted to just keep on that, but then there are like kind of danger associated with that as well, right? That when you say that, okay, this administration, it's good, they can deliver the solution we need, then people might think that, hey, we don't need to do anything now, just we can wait and have this administration fix our issue. So we don't need to get into that mindset, right? That advocacy, it's very important, and to build this momentum, it's very important, and the building that momentum takes time, right? So we need to build that momentum and keep that momentum. If it gets the solution, this administration provides the solution, that's great, we can stop the advocacy at that point. But we don't want to like wait for 2 years or 4 years and then start advocating, right? So the advocacy is important. And why it's important, it's because that, let's say, few reasons that this administration people are very hopeful. At least the people, the skilled immigrants in the backlog, they are hopeful because right now the administration has some key people in it who supported this uh, party in this election, like Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and they have speak openly in favor of some legal immigration, right? That one thing Elon Musk has said, that I support more immigration. Legal immigration needs to be made easier, and it needs to be increased. And Vivek Ramaswamy, it's kind of like, okay, the immigration needs to be merit based, right? But without right advocacy, that can go in very wrong direction as well. And what I mean by that, right? That, okay, Elon Musk is saying that I need to we need to increase the legal skill immigration or make it easy, but that can mean a lot of things, right? So neither of them has said yet that discrimination based on the country of birth is wrong. No one has spoke on that. No one has spoke on that, that country caps are bad yet, right? So just saying something like that, that we need to increase skill immigration or make it easier, can mean a lot of the things. And without right advocacy from our side, there will be lobbying from, I guess, the tech companies. What their demand is getting more H1B, right? They want to increase more number of H1B, which is kind of a good thing, but without solving this discrimination based on the country of birth, which is on the permanent residency, what that means is that they would be able to get more workers regardless of where they are coming from. And mostly, as United States has a shortage of STEM workers, they might be, and India produces those workers the most, right? So let's say that if they increase they double the H1B quota, they would be getting like double number of probably Indian origin people, and then they don't have path to permanent residency, means that their growth and freedom would be restricted based on the country of birth, right? So that can happen. Similarly, uh, let's say Vivek has spoke that okay, this needs to be on the merit based, and he said that H1B needs to maybe like stop because it's a bad program, right? But doing that kind of thing, that like let's say the focus is a lot on making this H1B merit based, removing the lottery, without fixing the root cause in the backlog. What can happen is that getting the H1B could become very challenging, or renewing can become challenging as well, right? That one thing Trump administration did, that okay, forgot about all the previous application. Whenever someone applies for H1B renewal, treat as a brand new application, that is this person is eligible for H1B, right? So like let's say that they restructure the H1B program and make it very challenging, then what can happen is that the people in the backlog, they are probably, a lot of them are in late 30s, some of them are in their 40s, and you would be competing with the people who are very fresh graduate out of the college. And a lot of the companies, they want to hire this young people who they can like train it in the company's culture, and who they can keep for a long term, right? So what can happen is that a lot of the companies start preferring this other people, and by providing them more salary or whatever, and your H1B renewal can get very challenging, right? So that's what I mean, that it's good that the sentiment are good overall towards legal immigration in this administration, but the advocacy needs to be there at a very good level, so we can push it in the right direction, that before improving we need to fix what's wrong. Otherwise more people will be discriminated, and more people will be exploited, and the people who got approved for something much much earlier, they might not get it, and they will try to give it to someone who are new, and maybe without even like removing this country about discrimination. So that's what I mean, that the advocacy needs to be there. And now let's go into why this administration can deliver. But then in the I'm gonna give 5 points, and even in those all 5 points, I want to focus on the advocacy as well, right? So the first point, I think that this administration, why they can provide solution, it's because they are right now in charge of House, Senate. It's I guess that Senate is finalized, that they are in the clear majority, but the House, they pretty much gonna get it, right? That the way the trend is, they will be in the clear majority as well, and they are also in the control of executive branch as well, right? So that makes him very easy for them to bring the bills to the House, if they want to bring the bills to the House floor, Senate floor, if they want to bring the bills uh, for voting. That makes it very very easy for them. So at the law, whenever it comes like, and the main reason this kind of backlog happens from one particular country is because of the discrimination, and that needs to be fixed at the law level, right? So this it's nice that now they are in control of this three very important branches of the government, so they can, if the will is there, which I guess there is, they are more in control now. Anyways, I think I have a surprise guest. Let me add him. So
Hello,
yeah,
Anuj. How are you?
good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good,
So
buddy.
yeah, if you don't know Padma, Padma is the biggest Trump fan I know.
No, I'm not. I still need my job. Don't take my life, my bread
as
and butter from me. I'm not a fan.
as manga as one can get.
I'm a I would say I'm a huge fan of his sense of humor. Let's just say that.
Right, yeah. The bigger fan of sense of humor than
Yeah.
second number is Trump, first number. But anyways, yeah, Trump. Sorry, not Trump. Padma is OG. Padma was the very first guest on this channel, and yeah, always
Oh,
she.
was I? Oh, I did not know.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm
I
so
think
proud now.
yeah. Remember, I think that
I
we.
know I did. I did not know if it was the first one, but I
It
am
was
so proud.
that's
Yeah.
the time I started because I did that thing called like stuck in California,
Yeah. Right.
and that
For
time we
maybe, yeah.
started. Yeah.
I
So,
remember that.
uh,
Good old days.
anyways, yeah. So we are talking about. I'm not sure you got to watch earlier, but what we are talking about is that. Just to recap briefly, is that this administration, I'm gonna talk about a lot of the things why this administration can deliver, but it has to be good advocacy as well. And one of the thing I mentioned is that, like, let's say Elon Musk says that okay, the skill immigration needs to be increased much more and made it easier. But one thing he has never said is that okay, country of birth discrimination is wrong.
Yeah.
Country caps are wrong. He has
But
not said that.
he
Not
did
but
not.
like let me. So uh, with things like that, just with that, the okay, skill immigration needs to be increased. What can happen is that the advocacy can go on the wrong if we are not advocating from our side. A lot of the Silicon Valley, what they want is that more H1B,
Correct.
and without fixing this the end issue, which a lot of people are struggling, what they can get is that more H1, then more people will be like their growth and freedom can be restricted, right? So the overall sense towards the making skill immigration easier, it's there, but it can mean a lot of different things, right? So with right advocacy needs to be there.
Right. No. Absolutely. I am pretty. I'm with you that I don't think anybody. Maybe Vivek would might have some slight idea, but I don't think any of the people who are like talking about green card have no idea. For example, even like I don't know. I think you saw this tweet. I'm sure. The CEO of Perplexity. He's like
Oh
he
yeah,
is still waiting
yeah,
for his
right,
green card for
right,
3 years,
right, right.
right?
That's
So
insane. That's
and he
insane.
says, and he's very connected, right? Like look at all the investors who are investing in Perplexity. They are like the core, very highly influential
Right,
VCs in the Bay Area.
right, right.
And he says nobody knows what they're talking about immigration when they're talking about it. So
Right.
just imagine the like everybody is
Right.
just talking. They don't know the pain that we go through. I think we should be. That's why I was supporting your arc because you. And one of the things which I really liked in the initial vision statement of the org is to create this team of media people who will create this content and share it across the media. I don't know if that is the first priority or not, but like that was one of the things that actually stood out to me in your initial vision statement, that we need to really create this media team either
Right.
within the people in US or we hire people outside. Either way, we need this
Mostly,
thing
yeah.
going on every day. Not that
Right.
we talk about immigration when
Right.
there are elections and then
Right.
go
Uh-huh.
back to our seats. We should every day there should be
Yeah.
something coming out so that we all like, because everybody like, I mean, I think we should have observed it, right? Like since we did it, maybe we did it for a year, approximately a year now, since we've been very active on YouTube
Right.
and Twitter. We see a lot of traction from users, which was never there before.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, like hardly, like they were like very highly influential people talking about it in terms of the who got the green cards, but it was not like the reach was not as big. You
Right.
have a lot of followers. Atal have a lot of followers. Area 51, he they just commented, hi Area
Yes.
51, they have a lot of
Yeah.
followers. Since we have so many people like constantly talking about it, the message will have a larger reach.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I th-
Mm-hmm.
and we need person who's doing it full time. We are all doing part time,
Right,
will
yeah.
not have the same effect. So we
Right.
need somebody who's actually doing it full time with like the only goal to. And
Right.
just on a side topic, just one last bit before we move on to the next one, is that the Marcus, do you know Marcus is like the very famous YouTuber who talks about gadgets, and he was talking about how to make YouTube videos.
MKBHD?
MKBHD, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he was talking about how to make YouTube videos, and one of the things that he talks about is like, if I do a YouTube video, I have to think about all these 10 things, but I can only spend so much time to, like, for the thumbnail, editing, sound effects,
Right, right, yeah.
background. So, but I can only spend so much time for each part of it. But if there's one person putting like 8 hours a day work for each
Yes.
of them,
Yes.
the effect will be like you're moving from a million views per day to like 10 million views per day.
Uh-huh.
The exponential growth is like, you are not able to imagine it. You might think, hey, this is waste of time or waste of
No.
money, but the reach will be exponential.
Right.
So
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 yeah,
that's
that right. So that's the goal, right? That right now with the advocacy related to a solution, lot of the things we are doing on our own without that specialized skills. So like
correct.
let's say reaching, getting that appointment. There are people who specialize on getting that appointment with the senators, right?
Exactly.
So those professional skill we need for different thing. Like let's say if we want to bring the CEO of the perplexity, it might
Yeah.
be hard, but there are people who
Yeah.
specialize on that kind of thing. That
Yeah.
it's their the collaboration and those kind of things. It's their domain, and they know how to do it, right? So that's why it's important to hire the people who are good at different aspect of this advocacy, right? And that's the goal. So hopefully a lot of the people support the organization. And
No, no,
yeah,
we
we have
should.
a
We should.
comment
Dude,
from area 51 that yeah.
I don't want to be the
And
president. I would
Padma,
leak.
yeah,
I would
Padma,
make it
I
unanimous.
would
I'll
say
make it.
that my favorite podcast of out of all the podcasts are Area 51 podcasts as
Yeah,
well. So thanks.
they make keep it
This
fun.
time spent on one episode we
We
used to
miss the
say.
other podcaster who has been busy with work, but we
I
want the other
know.
podcaster to be
Right.
back live. This is a
Okay.
message to Rahul.
Anyways,
But
getting
anyway,
back to
yeah,
the points, right? So then
yeah,
I was saying that why this administration can deliver. And one thing I already said, I think you already catch, right? That okay, they are in charge, gonna be, as they call it,
they have
trifecta.
like life. And just one more
So,
point to add on that you said, that is exactly right. They have power in the Senate, Congress, and the presidency. Not only that, the biggest reason is Trump doesn't have another term to run, so he doesn't have to worry about anything.
right.
He has to leave a legacy. This is like he has like the next 2 years before the next elections comes in.
Right.
This is the most impact he could have would be in the next 2 years,
Right.
because
So
you don't
yeah,
know how the
that's
elections. Yeah,
another good point that this time he personally doesn't has to run for another term. So
correct.
he can execute the policies which he truly believes which are good for America rather than thinking about that I need to support the policies according
He
to
doesn't have
the
to run for election again,
party or
right? Yeah,
something like that. So as long as we again coming back to the right advocacy, as long as we can convince the president
yeah,
that this is in the benefits of America, this is good for America, and he can do much more good by solving this issue, then
yeah,
it would be very easy for him to execute on these things, right?
yeah.
And then that could be admin fix as well, right?
He'll have a great legacy. Like we all live here. If we
Right,
all
yeah.
get green cards,
Yeah,
Trump will have a great. Not that
right.
I'm a biggest fan of Trump, but I'm just saying that Trump will
Right,
have
yeah, right
a huge
advocacy,
legacy.
and which could be true as well, right? That
Yeah.
he often says that he compares himself sometimes to the Lincoln, and he has some power to do similar, not to that extent, but something that right now a lot of the people are tied to their employers. They can be freed. They are like very skilled, so if they can like give them this freedom by EAD or something as well, then he's like freeing these people from their employer and enabling them to do much more things, create much more jobs. So it just the right advocacy needs to be there, and then there is they are in capable of delivering this
Yeah.
solutions, right?
And I think yesterday, I think Area 51 just makes a point that Brad, the one of the immigration lawyers, made as well, that
Yeah.
Trump's likes to be liked. And he
Right.
already likes Prime Minister Modi, so
Right.
we are.
Okay, yeah, so that's, I think that that was my last point why this administration can deliver, right? But let's take that
We
since
should be
it's
very hopeful.
no,
I
no,
think
no,
Anil, one
like
more.
let's if you are, is it on the similar, if you are making a
Yeah,
different point, let's
no,
just
no,
touch on this.
that, no, no. Before you go to that, one, I'm just making a point why we need like a proper organization, which like as a face, like an organization which talks about green card backlog itself. Is that so? If I go to like Vivek Ramaswamy or maybe JD Vance, that hey, my name is Padma Kumar, like my I'm on H1B. This is the problem that we have. It will not stick. But if you reach out to them like an organization, that hey, we are like high skilled. There's a high skilled immigration organization. Hey, we have 1 million people who are backing us. We are all stuck in green card for 100. When you have like a non-profit org, and then there's a face that goes and talks about the org, that will have like a different impact versus me.
Right, right,
So if I'm just going, I'm just one person, right? Like he doesn't know whether I'm right, wrong, or just making up stuff,
right.
right? That could be the case. But if you or somebody goes from through the organization, then he can go back and check. Okay, he's talking that I met a person. He's saying that he's coming from this organization,
No, yeah, the having
and
that makes a huge impact, and I'm not sure if any of you had called your member of the Congress, but do it yesterday just for an experiment.
yeah,
Call tomorrow, and one of the first questions they will ask is that what organization are you calling from?
right,
That's the very common question they will ask because
yeah,
not lot of the people call on their own, like they are associated with some kind of organization, and that's
right.
my experience has been is that, oh, and when you say that I am calling from this
You
organization,
know
the
what?
effect is very
We
different.
should what we should do is like the next time we have this recording, maybe we should actually in live call like a uh, one of the congressmen and talk so that people understand how the call actually goes, so that will give them a good idea of
Okay,
what to talk.
no, that's a good idea for future live stream. But coming back to this point, right? That Trump wants to be liked. That's great, right? As we just need to convince him that this is the right thing to do for America, and if he do, then a lot of people gonna like him because he did right, but already people who are like freeing these people would get him a lot of praise, right? But another thing, you made a good point that he already likes Indian, right? And we're talking about Trump, we already
Howdy
know
Modi.
that. Like Modi is one of his. He always, like any interview he does, if he has to give an example of
Story.
good prime minister, it's always he talks about that Modi, and does great event with Modi, and always like speaks good about Indians, and not just about Trump, but Vance. We can uh, confidently say that he doesn't hate Indian or he likes Indian
Yeah,
because his wife is Indian origin, and let's
he
say
has
if he
half
has
Indian kids.
he, yeah, if he was not liking Indian and he had a bad rap of Indians, then of course he wouldn't marry someone with Indian origin, right?
And
So
she's like a Supreme Court clerk. It's not like
right,
she he
right,
they just married some random Indian woman on the road.
right,
She's like a very top, a very like elite of the elite
right.
uh, lawyers in the Supreme Court.
So
So
solving this issue is hugely in favor of America, but the people who are mainly suffering are Indians, right? And there is,
right,
it's good that this administration is has positive view of Indian people, so that will help to bring the solution we need. That makes it very, very easy, right?
right,
So that was my last point, but you brought it up, so that's good. The second point I wanted to make is that Trump has already said something on the record that uh, anyone who has graduated from
yes,
US universities should get green card. Now I know that that's not entirely on his reach to give that green
Right.
card. But at least anytime, if the policy he starts to implement goes against what he said, then we have something right there to hold him accountable,
Yeah.
that you said this, why you are making it harder than what you already said, right?
So I'll make a good case why that is a better visa process than what we have going on today. So imagine, right? Like if they say that we are going to get rid of H1B
Mm-hmm.
and we are going to only give green cards to any high skilled immigrant. So if you want to get into the country, come into the country, get into the colleges, and get a degree, get a high skilled degree, and then you can get a green card. If that is, let's say, hypothetically, no matter how ridiculous it is, take that as like take his word has the evidence, right? Let's work with that, right? So then many good things with it. The first thing is everybody who's coming into the country will be assimilated because they would go to the colleges
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be working with the colleges and they'll be young and they'll get assimilated. The second one is in a case where they think there are too many immigrants in this country, they can turn off the knob just like that. They just have to stop giving F1 visas. Nobody will come into the country. So it is like a like you. So if you cannot turn off H1B visas, right? A lot of companies will get hurt. You know what I mean? Like if the government decides to say, hey, no more H1B visas, a lot of companies will, they all like donate and they try to like not let that law pass, and they'll show that okay, there's so much loss to the country and all of. But if it is through the education system of the country and through that you're getting immigrants into the country, whenever the country feels like hey, we have too many people, we just scrutinize the F1B visa. F1 visa, sorry, not F1 visa, and we'll just scrutinize. Like it, the country can do it on demand. You don't need a congressional approval. You don't have to write a new law. You just tell your USUS that hey, we are allowing like 200,000 kids every year. Let's put it down to 20. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm taking in terms of American point of view or the extremist standpoint. This is a better way to do it
uh,
than going through the H1B visa.
uh, that, but I always like to
I'm
think
doing the like
about.
I'm getting the best case for why
No,
that
yeah,
should be
you
the
are
case.
going, but in that terms, I always like to think opposite, and we might be going into the
Hmm.
other direction if we debate
Okay.
is that if this policy is actually a good policy or not. Then the bad side is that a lot of the universities can start abusing it. Then rather
Yeah.
than providing the education, they are like advertising that we are
So
institution to
yeah,
get your
of
green
course
card. That
they will
that
be abused. No, no,
but
they will be
yeah,
abused. But you can tight
again,
it. You can tight
right,
it on demand. You can
you
screw
are
it whenever you do decide to. You don't. If you think somebody is screwing with it, you can. You don't need a law. So the
right,
challenge in
yeah,
any
the
government is you
admin,
don't need a new
yeah,
law.
summarize, you are summarizing your point is that administration is in total control of stopping that anytime if there is
Right.
anything is going on.
But like people who are in and who are already invested into this country are not like their lives are not at stake because of the government thinks so hey now we want to tighten. We are not like our lives are not at stake. If you
Hmm.
don't want people to come in, don't want to come, don't let them in, because if you're not in the country, you will find another way, another life stream or whatever you want to do in your life. If you're already here getting married, have kids, and then now government says hey, you have a specialized skill, I don't think I need that skill anymore, you can get. I mean, after investing so much time, effort and money, and in your 40s if the government says hey man, it's time, sorry, uh it's like you cannot uproot your life. If you're at
Right,
15 or if you're 17, you can uproot your life. I mean, no, how much, yeah, it's bad, but like how much bad is it going to be, right?
right,
So I'm just trying to give a good case
yeah,
for what
uh-huh.
that lies. A lot of people just smirk. This is why I hate, like whenever you talk to immigration lawyers, whenever I say, whenever somebody talks about this stapling green card stapling green card to master's degrees, they'll be ha ha ha, that will never happen because I,
But that's a different thing, right? At least I am what I'm making a point if it is possible or not.
yeah,
But at least he has said on the record. At least
yeah,
he
we can
cannot.
hold him
He
against it.
can, right. He can
He did
implement
not say
that.
it randomly.
He
He's
can implement that or not. That's a totally different thing. But if he says start taking action which are totally against what he said, then
yeah.
he can be like at least we can, like, with the right advocacy, push back that here is what you
And
think.
he did not say that in some random place. He spoke it
Oh yeah,
in
yeah,
with
yeah. It's
in a, one
very
of the
well.
biggest podcast
Right.
technology podcasts in the
Not a
country.
speak, not my favorite as much as Area 51, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I don't
It's,
like. I would put
they do
second, like
good.
the second best technology podcast
Yes.
after Area 51.
Uh,
But
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 yeah,
he
moving
the
on,
yeah,
Padma. Uh,
yeah.
Third point was my that okay, uh, why this administration can deliver? It's because Trump likes to fire people with the right advocacy, right? So one of the thing is that previous administration is, as Trump said, that even if they are doing something wrong, they don't
You
fire
never find.
anyone. But what is that if there is a right advocacy, if like someone, without naming a name, if they start uh, taking action which is against what he has already said, and if we convince them that this is not good for America, he can immediately fire that people and he doesn't hesitate, right? So if there is a right advocacy, he can deliver, he can remove the people who are making it harder, the immigration harder for people, for the skilled immigration. So that's another great point, that he doesn't hesitate to make the right decision, kind of thing.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah, I agree on that.
uh, and I think that this was the point I think we already covered, right? And that was one of my another point, is that this time he has freedom to take much more bold action, since this is his second term. Now he doesn't need to worry about re-election. So, like, let's say that previously he has to worry about that. Okay, if I let's say give EAD to all these people in the backlog, then a lot of the people who doesn't like immigrants, they might think that they are taking the jobs or something like that, then he might not get that vote. But right now what he has to think in terms that what I am doing, which is good for America, and what I can do which can have lasting impact, so people will remember me or maybe like me. And in that kind of, so that's what I am like, keep coming back to that, with right
And
advocacy he can deliver.
and California will turn. If I'm giving you just a political update, if they want to really, if they really clean out the green cards and give everybody in the Bay Area get green cards, California will bleed red for sure.
Right. So yeah. So see, that's the power of
They
right
got
advocacy, right?
40% this time, so they're
So
almost there.
like, let's say if we convince him that if you do that, the California will be red forever. That means that he ensured that Gope stays in power forever, kind of like. So
Yeah,
long
if
time it
California turns
can.
red, that is it, right? If
Right.
California and Texas turn red, and that is it,
Texas
you're
is
good for
already
an.
already
No,
red
no,
line.
no. That's what I'm saying. If
Right.
California
Right.
and Texas are red,
Right.
that's like almost like 100 electoral votes right there. Out of
Right.
the 300, 200, 100 is already like ready for you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not take much to get the remaining 170 right from other states. So I'm just giving you ideas. I
Right,
hope they
yeah,
listen.
for good advocacy. Yeah, so this were like major 5 points
Help.
I had, is that they have trifecta. They are totally in control. Trump has said on the record that he supports keeping the people who are already educated or experienced here. Trump doesn't
Yeah.
mind firing people if they are not making progress or like working against the policies he like. Another one is that this time he will take much more bold action, and both president and vice president
And
has positive views on Indians. So these were like my
and
major
he's known
five
to take
points.
bold actions, and he's
Hmm?
known to take bold actions.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like we are not like we saw as four terms, which some of them was against us. We all agree.
All
I
right.
think in the,
Go ahead, finish.
no, no.
So,
I just making that point. Like I was joking about Calfam being red and all, but like it makes a. I mean, he has a like we are a million. I mean, people underestimate. Even Indians, I see a lot of Indians underestimate how much more economy would be created if we all get green cards.
oh
People
yeah.
think that, oh, nothing's going to a lot. I know. So people like Arvind Srinivasan, who's the CEO, founder CEO of Perplexity, he became a CEO despite all the odds. There were a lot of hurdles. Despite all the hurdles, he became a CEO. But a lot of them are being uh, are unable to do anything else because of those hurdles. But if you remove those hurdles, because they're already the country is saying you're eligible for a green card. We are not asking everybody who has an H1 to get a green card, right? We are
Right.
asking only
Right.
for people who
Who
are
are already
already
approved.
eligible. Yeah, already you approved.
Right.
I'm not approved. I'm not
Yeah.
you
My
voluntarily approved,
I-140 was approved under Trump administration. So I would
right?
say clearly that this is you
You approved,
approved.
right? So
Uh,
you approved, and we are just, if you just remove the barrier on for the heavy barrier from top of us, even if there's only 5 or 6% of people who start businesses, that will change the economy to a different level. If he's Trump always says that we should grow at 4% or 5% rate. If you really want to grow at that rate, you should remove a lot of regulation, and you should consider this as one of those regulations that you have to remove.
Right. Uh, yeah, that's coming back to the right advocacy can give him that, okay, this is the lasting impact you can, like, if you want to boost economy, this is how you can do it. But
Yeah.
anyways, like, if you are watching, yeah, like, put a comment in the chat, and if you have any
Say
other,
hello.
what are your views on this administration? If you have any other points, then we already discussed, put it in the comments that why this
Yeah.
administration can deliver.
And
But
if you follow politics really closely, one of the things that you'll observe on the Republican side is that besides Stephen Miller and Bannon and few
uh-huh.
extreme right people, most the think tanks and the most of the core Republican Party, be it like the neoconservatives or the new MAGA conservatives, most of them don't hate legal immigrants. they
Right,
they might
yeah.
say immigration is bad, but they're not talking about legal immigration. They are talking about the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing with it's a clever thing, right? Like even the Democrats say immigration is good, but they're not talking about the legal immigration. They're talking about the other side. So it goes both ways. This guy is saying legal immigration is good, but he's talking about the undocumented. But the
Mm-hmm.
right side is saying legal immigration is good, but he's talking about the
Mm-hmm.
documented, about us. And
Right.
so if you look at the last election win, right? So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people supported Trump. So everybody should make this analysis for themselves. So do you think Trump won because of Bannon or Stephen Miller, or did Trump win because of Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, Sachs, Vivek, JD Vance, Tulsi, RFK? Everybody should make those, and I'm not going to say which is right. You should make those analysis, and you should assume whoever he wins, he won because of whom. Those guys will have more power in the administration than the other side.
I
Clear.
think
That's
that
previously in Trump
my
1.0. In Trump
mm-hmm.
1.0, Bannon was like the key figure who pushed him all the way.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Bannon, in the initial year or so, Bannon had a lot of power. You remember the Muslim ban? All of those things came because of the Banner side of the coalition.
Mm-hmm.
So this time, I have the only hope I have is because of this, and that's why I think Trump 2.0 will be more moderate than Trump 1.0 in
Right.
terms of immigration, and I'm talking about the legal immigration, and he will be more cutthroat about the legal immigration for sure, because they personally, I'm not saying it's bad or good, that's their agenda.
Right. Uh-huh.
And that's why
Yeah.
this is the time, Anuj, you need to push, you need to be in that the Washington DC. You should to bang on the, I mean, unfortunately I can only donate, but you should like
No,
you
that's
should be
why
banging on
we
those
are
doors. Yeah.
doing it, right?
Yeah.
Whatever staff we're gonna hire, uh, going to be around DC, right? And we
Yeah.
cannot, like, the goal is to have at least 10 to 15 full-time advocates, right? That
Yeah.
they live outside of this Congress offices. They
Yes. Yeah.
basically that they
Sleep. Yeah.
we cannot live in that office because we have to maintain our job. But these
We
people,
are on H1. You're still
yeah,
on H1B.
right.
We
But
should
these
act as if
people
you're on
can
H1B.
live there. They can develop
Yeah.
they can live outside of the White House. They can live and they can develop this relationship and all those things, right? So, mhm.
Yeah, and that's true. We need full time people because if you see the other organization, Deep Patel's organization, I think it's Improve the Dream. Is it? I don't
Yes.
remember, but they have a good organization because those people are like they don't have like they can do it full time because they're not like actually working for a family. Are they? No, maybe I'm not.
No, no.
No.
So
Okay.
yeah, their entire thing they say is that we are fully volunteer run organization.
Right.
So I don't think so. They have any full time staff. Uh, they have. Uh, I don't want to speak too much about
No, no.
their
I'm just
organization,
saying the, but I'm
but
just trying to drive the idea that
they,
full time workers
yeah,
will have huge impact
right.
versus somebody like doing part time. With
Right.
especially with
Okay,
family
we
and
have
kids will
some
be even harder.
comments. Looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what. Yeah, Mohit,
Hi
thanks for
Mohit.
joining. Yeah, excited for Trump administration. Harry, thanks for joining as well. 4 year of Trump will see a lot of. So yeah, it's. I see that Indian likes Trump, Trump likes Indians. So hopefully we'll see. And Trump has good people around him, right?
Yeah.
JD, Ellen, Tulsi, RFK. Yeah, so and you were talking about Trump winning, and I think that my personal view, he won because he has this people, very smart people around him, and
Right.
I think that there was a discussion which I agree that he won because of the podcast. Some of the
Right.
podcasts he did, like All In podcast, was big. Then doing with what was Joe Rogan was big,
Andrew. Andrew.
Andrew
Andrew
Schultz
Schultz
was big,
was
and
really good
those
actually.
last two he did, he killed it. He was like
Yeah.
much more
It was good.
composed than, and he like I'm sure that those last two podcasts made a huge impact,
Yeah. That
and
sealed the deal.
I
Yeah.
hope he keep listening to, like, he was much
Yeah.
more listening in those
An
podcasts.
algorithm runs into our show.
And if you watch Andrew Schultz's podcast, one of the very funniest thing happened at the end, that this Indian origin guy was telling him
Yeah.
that, hey, can you be much more
More.
respectful? And he was like, I'm gonna be respectful, and I'm gonna think about you all all the time.
Yeah, I'm going to be more moderate and I'll be thinking about you every single time I do that. And that's like that's the sense of humor I said I liked about, right? Like
Right,
you have to be a funny guy
right.
to do that. Like
Yeah,
you
that
can't
was
just
like
make
the
that up.
timing was so good on
Yeah,
that.
you can't make that up. You have to be sharp and you got to be really funny to make. That's why I think his sense of is really good. And I fundamentally see that if everybody who has a sense of humor looks at the world very objectively, you cannot be an ideologist and have a good sense of humor. You have to like see both sides of the issue to make a joke. So since
Mhm.
he's making some jokes, I hope he's more sensible this time, and I hope he gets green card backlog cleared up, and that will give him, give good karma for him for the next life.
Right, yes,
He can be a
yeah.
president again for the next life.
Hmm. Anyways, yeah, so I agree. I think that most of the us who are joining also agrees that we are very positive about this
Yeah,
coming administration, and it's good that they are in charge of all these branches, so it will make them easier. But yeah, we need right advocacy, and we have this
we need.
organization which
Yeah,
is amazing. I personally think that start supporting that organization so we
yeah,
can push the advocacy, and we can make this advocacy much more consistent, because the building momentum takes time, and we want to uh, have that going. So if it fixes, we can stop it, but we don't wait until, like, okay, 2 year into their administration, nothing has happened,
no, we
and
should
then
do
we
start
start
now. Yeah,
start
no, no, we should do it
taking
now.
action. So yeah, there is a link in
And
the
we should not even let
description. If you want to donate, please donate. Otherwise, like, subscribe to the social media so you get consistent update, and hopefully our action inspires you. Padma.
yeah, please donate. I'm donating right now. I'm going into the description and I'm actually going to donate. I'm going to share a screenshot as well so that people don't think I'm just making it up.
Yeah,
I'm
please share
actually,
it on the Twitter. That
yeah,
inspires a lot of people, and I'll share
yeah,
it, right?
I will.
So, but
I'm going to share it
otherwise,
today.
you have
Uh,
anything else
we
to add before we close?
No, please, every dollar counts. It doesn't matter how much you donate,
Yeah.
every dollar counts. Please donate. I trust Anuj. He will not, I can, I'm pretty sure that the money will not be like gobbled up. I mean, anybody
I
who
want
travels the
H1B.
country. No, no. Anybody who travels the 50 states
Right.
in a car just for the cause will not be doing that. I trust me on that.
Mhm.
I will not be able to do that. And I think I'm a good person, and I'll never be able to travel 50 states for a cause. So
No,
if
thanks
somebody is
for
actually
saying that.
doing
But
that,
right now, that's a huge point, right? But another thing we say is that the reason why have we kept it that $10 a month, what that means uh, is that, let's say this organization, you start donating monthly $10 a month, and if you are seeing action from this organization, you continue. If you see that this organization has stopped working, you immediately
do
stop,
they
right? So
do they
that
get
instead of donate, we are asking that, okay, donate 1,000 once a year. We
right?
are asking
Yeah,
that do it once a month, $10, small amount, and then judge us based on the actions you see this organization is
right.
taking. If you see that it becomes dormant, you can always stop it,
No, no. Do they get? This is a question I have for you, Anuj, regarding the
Mhm.
subscription. Do they get any emails like whenever there are updates or any activities that
Uh,
happen in the
we
organization?
we are trying to set this up right now. As
Okay,
soon as you donate, first email you get is the receipt,
of
right?
course, right.
And then we probably will start sending periodic updates, major updates, but that we need to still figure it out. And we
But
are
there are plans.
hoping, yeah, we are hoping that we have these professional people who are doing it.
Yeah.
They are very good at writing those
No, no,
emails and
no. Yeah,
sending it consistently
because
and make it precise
the
and to the point. So yeah, that's the goal, to
no,
make it
right.
very consistent.
No, the reason I ask is, let's say if I have a subscription for $10.
Mhm.
I'm paying. It's been 3 months. If I don't see any emails from the organization, or like whenever I remember after like 8 months or 9 months, and I don't see any emails or any updates, it feels like although you might be doing a lot of stuff that I'm not aware. Maybe you're posting on the website and everything, of course. But if you have getting emails because everybody is on their phone all the time,
Okay, yeah, that's
so
that's a good feedback. So like,
yeah,
yeah, then once we,
any information, just
in
that
a
you're
couple of
active.
months, we'll start sending at least one email update a week, summary of what we
Yeah,
did this
uh,
week.
exactly.
Otherwise, if you follow us on social media, within a week, you will see content every single day
Yeah,
without a miss, like at least
yeah,
five
sure.
days a week. So you will see a lot of things like raising the awareness that within a year, you will never hear anyone who would say that we came to the United States without knowing this issue. So we cannot guarantee that it
That's
will
another good
solve
point.
within a year, but we can guarantee that within a year, no one will say that I didn't know. Like, because a lot of the us, what happened is that we came to know about this issue much later after we were in the backlog. But now with this organization, everyone will know uh, much later, before they coming here or even before they are in the backlog. And overall sentiments toward the people in the backlog, that's going to change significantly, and we are like
Right.
pretty confident that we can solve it in the next congress, which means in the next 2 years. So
And I want to give some hope that Biden is super mad that they lost the election. So he might do something crazy and give some green card.
yeah,
Maybe
I don't
give us
know.
EADs in the
Not
next 90
EAD,
days.
but yeah, that I always say that, okay, yeah, if you want
Hey,
to
we
push
should
it,
keep the hopes open
right?
so
Oh
that
yeah,
we are
yeah,
bipartisan here.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And if someone wants to advocate, if they have time, go ahead. Our organization is not at that position, and we want to build a foundation. But let's say
Yeah.
if you have time, you can write to the president. You know that, right? You can write a
Yeah.
letter to the White House that before going out, this, if you do this
Let's do this.
one thing people
Let's
will
go.
remember you, right, Biden, that
Yeah.
this is, if you do this, this will significantly help America, but also people will remember you forever. Like people
Right.
remember Obama, that he gave the work permit to the H4, H1
Yeah.
dependent, H4 EAD.
Everybody
So
gets
that
mad.
thing,
Anytime I say something mad, everybody gets mad at me and says they point out like Obama did this, Obama did this in
right,
2015. So
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
this is very
that
helpful.
can forever stay there, and he has nothing to lose.
Yeah,
Probably he's not gonna run for any other office, not
right.
just
This is it.
president. This is his like actual retirement. One thing he can do, which is in his power, can have a lasting impact is that it
Right.
begins this EAD, and I
Mm.
hope it does.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The presidency begins now
Mhm.
in
Right.
the next 90 days.
Anyways,
Yeah.
guys, thanks for joining,
Thanks for
and
yeah.
I will see you guys soon with another topic. Thanks for joining. See you guys soon. Thanks, Padma, also
Thanks. Yeah, I know.
bringing that sense of humor.
I mean, we're already in pain, so at least
And
some
I'm
sense
looking
of humor
forward to
always
your
goes a long way.
screenshot.
Yeah, I'm going to share a screenshot, of course.
Okay.
I'll not forget, and I'll
Okay.
hope you share on that Twitter account
I
on
will.
yours.
I will.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Bye,
Good
guys.
night.
Have a good day.
Mhm.